The heavily laden container ship, which hit and destroyed a road bridge in the American city of Baltimore overnight, did so after its power failed as it prepared to sail underneath. But ITV News has been told this power failure wasn't a freak one-off. The ship was apparently blowing fuses in dock before it set out in the darkness. The loss of 6 workmen, missing, presumed drowned, repairing potholes on the bridge is awful enough. It could, though, have been a whole lot worse for 2 reasons. The time of night meant the bridge was not as busy as usual, and the ship managed a mayday call a few moments before, prompting frantic efforts to close the bridge. Well, these are the live pictures from the scene tonight, and as you can see, a vast span of the bridge simply crumpled, sliding into the water. President Biden has said he will move heaven and earth to get it rebuilt.
On the Patapsco River, where the centre of the bridge once stood, tangled metal juts out of the depths. A section of the structure now leads to thin air. The container ship that caused the carnage, stranded in the middle of the river, part of the wreckage still draped over its prow. It was the dark of night when the Dali left port. On the 1.5-mile span of the Francis Scott Key Bridge above, the headlights of cars flicker seconds before the ship approaches, hits, and then this. The bridge concertinas with breathtaking speed.
The entire Key Bridge is in the harbor.
Police radio registers their utter shock.
We can see 1, 2, 3 remaining sections of the bridge. From there on out from land, the bridge has collapsed.
This is very much still a search and rescue mission. We are still actively looking for survivors. We know, and that's the pledge we've made to these families, and this is still very much an active search and rescue mission. And there is not a single resource that we will hold off on deploying.
That rescue operation began by searchlight and continued through the day with helicopters sweeping the river and divers scouring the depths. So far, 2 people have been pulled out alive. There are at least 6 others missing, and sonar has detected at least 5 submerged vehicles. President Biden expressed the shock of the nation.
Our prayers are with everyone involved in this terrible accident and all the families, especially those waiting for the news of their loved one right now. I know every minute in that circumstance feels like a lifetime. You just don't know. It's just terrible.
Local residents even half a mile from the collision told me they could feel its impact.
Yes, it felt like an earthquake. My room shook. I was like, wow.
Her grandfather called me and was like, hey, bridge is gone. I'm like, what do you mean it's gone? It was gone. Just, I came down here without my glasses last night, but seeing it now today, it's truly devastating to look at.
It's a really shocking sight.
I mean, it's been there all my life, you know.
The ship left the port behind me here in the early hours before heading up this stretch of river towards open water and the bridge. The authorities have confirmed that the ship would have been steered through this stretch of river by a local captain, as is normal, who would know the river, the tides, and the positioning of the bridge. In a slowed version of the footage, you can see the lights on the ship go off and black smoke emerge before the collision. Authorities have confirmed it did suffer a power failure. A port worker has told us the ship had experienced serious issues before it set off.
It was here for 2 days because it was a 2-day working ship. And those 2 days they were having serious power outages. Like I said, the reefer boxes that we have on there, which is the refrigerated boxes, they were actually tripping the breakers for our mechanics that were keeping the generators running on those while they were trying to fix the ship. And it was just not, they weren't even holding that. They were tripping breakers on that. So, I mean, they had a severe electrical problem.
The result of its malfunction today, what the mayor of Baltimore has called an unthinkable tragedy, an outcome that everyone had assumed should have been impossible. Romilly Weeks, News at 10, Baltimore.